I'm a villainous female role. My goal was to woo the second male lead in a book. But his eyes were always on another woman. When I discovered that only by dying could I return to my original world, I began to seek death. But then, he started to regret it. He grabbed me by the neck, trying to stop me from leaving him. My attempt to win over the love-struck second male lead failed. I wanted to change his fate from suicide due to unrequited love for the female lead. What truly left me in despair was that he left our engagement party simply because of her phone call. After everyone left, I stood alone on the top terrace of the Vale family. I kept asking the system if destroying this body meant I could go home. With the system's yes, I moved towards the railing. After 2 steps, I heard a chuckle came from behind. I turned around to find that it was Ash Phoenix, my adopted brother. I rescued him from a trash heap at 7. We depended on each other for our lives until his wealthy parents took him back at 14. By our next meeting, he became one of Serena's avid suitors. The care I showed by working 3 jobs for his education briefly moved him at our reunion. After he saw me as the jealous villain around Serena, mockery and caution replaced his warmth. When I was engaged to Darius, news of Serena's kidnapping arrived. It led to the dispersal of the party, including my fiancé. He even warned me before leaving, "You're finished if you are responsible for this." This was the 100th time he left me for Serena since I entered this book. Therefore the system marked me as a failure. His devotion for Serena always had its reasons. It's my arrogance that makes me feel like I can accomplish his redemption. With this thought, I no longer looked at Ash with kindness. "I don't know why you're here, but better stay out of my business," I said. "You might miss wooing your goddess." The so-called kidnapping was just a plot by Serena and her family. They aimed to ruin my wedding with Darius. When everyone had left my wedding, Serena would surely appeared unscathed. Now, with the strategy failing, I found no reason to stay in this world. Luckily, the system, recognizing my effort, granted me a penalty exemption. As long as I leave this world within the set time frame, I could avoid the fate of erasure. My life in the original world was near its end due to severe illness. Thinking of the last look on my heartbroken mother's face before I entered this book, I bit my lip and hurried towards the railing. Perhaps it was the first time Ash faced such an attitude from me. He is shocked by what I said and what I was doing. "Luna, what are you doing?" When he realized what I intended to do, Ash's attitude towards me shifted from disdain to nervousness. He quickly caught up with me. "What are you attempting now? Even seeking death won't make Mr. Vale forgive your misdeeds. You are no match for Ms. Asher, whether alive or dead. You." Ash stopped abruptly as he saw me climb over the railing without hesitation and jump onto the city below. The world seemed to magnify quickly as I fell, the roaring wind painfully whipping past my ears. Yet, it couldn't dull my exhilarated heart. I was going home, to the warmth of my parents, to the care of my friends. Leaving all the injustices I endured behind. Just a bit more, almost there. Thought of this, I couldn't help but close my eyes. The sensation of plummeting was abruptly interrupted. Suddenly, I felt a pain in my arm that jolted me to awareness. Someone grabbed my arm and tried to pull me back. I opened my eyes and saw Ash holding the railing with one hand and firmly gripping me with the other. "Let me go," I said calmly. Ash clenched his teeth, his eyes turned red, either from exertion or for some other reason. He managed, "Luna, you've won this round. You played your part well, but it won't change anything." "Darius," he let go. I couldn't bear hearing Darius' name and began to thrash. Ash had half of his body leaning outside the railing when he jumped to catch me. As I struggled, his grip on the railing grew precarious. Both of us were on the verge of falling. He couldn't help but shout, "Stop shaking. We will fall." Seemed to completely disregard his words. I kept shaking. Ash took a breath and said in a pleading tone, "I wouldn't watch you die without doing anything. I believe that you will have the same feeling for me. But if you keep doing this, I'll fall too. Do you really want us both to die, Luna?" This affectionate tone reminded me of the time when we relied on each other for survival. At that time, I considered Ash my only kin in this world. I spoiled him. He tends to cozy up to me at that time. Now, I looked up, meeting his star-like eyes. He looked calm but with an underlying anticipation. Was he waiting for my reply? The thought almost made me laugh. And I did laugh, gazing directly into his eyes. I said each word deliberate. Your life or death, who cares? His face lost all color instantly. As if unable to digest my words, Ash stared at me blankly. The strength in his grip began to fade. Hope flared in my heart once more.